Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people of all ages. Once again, we are back with the Bold Prediction Sports Media podcast. We steadily growing and glowing. That's Mr. KC from the 813. I'm that dude with the beard. Mr. KC, what's going on, brother?
Oh, getting excited. We're starting to get into that less than 100 days till football. We've got NBA finals going on. We've got hockey's finals going on, I believe, if that counts for
Stanley
anything.
Cup.
You know, a little baseball action in happening. It's just a good time to be a sports fan.
It is, because right now you can really get a taste of everything. I mean, everything is going on right now. We'll have about another month or two of other sports coming along, and wrestling is always booming, baby. So contact sports, contact entertainment, whatever you want to call it, it's always booming. But Mr. Casey is not lying. It's an exciting time. And to talk about some of that action, we'll start off with the main attraction for right now, the NBA Finals. The Denver Nuggets have taken a 2-1 lead over the Miami Heat, which is expected. Like I said, they was going to get two out this series. Now we're about to see Miami go ahead and finish this thing on out here. Like I said, Miami in
Oh,
six. I'm not changing. It's still the same. They
Miami in
about to win
six.
these next. Yeah, they about to win these next three straight.
If it makes you feel better, I do believe I have the Nugs in six. So I think Heat might get one more in there before it's all said and done. But the teacher talking sports had it as five, and so far, if everything goes right, he might have that one right. So it's
Hey,
still up in the
that
air.
might be.
We can
But you
see.
picked the Nuggets, so I'm happy that
Mm,
you picked the Nuggets. That means the Heat got a real chance.
They have a real chance, folks. Here, if you thought Drake was a curse, wait till I pick your favorite basketball team, and I tell you what, all of a sudden, you'd rather me start talking about Carmelo than talking about picking your
Ooh,
team. So be
goodness
careful,
gracious.
all Nuggets fans, especially this season. Only thing I didn't curse was Joel Embiid's MVP. That's the only thing
True,
I
true.
probably had
That's because he threw all that energy into
safe.
Boston, so Boston had to take that L.
Mm.
But but shout out to Big Mello, my boy Mr. KC. He always be talking bad about him, but he can't stop talking about him. Shout out to my boy Big Mello. Drop 60 on you in a blink of an eye
Yeah,
with a blicky. Bloop bloop gold metal sticky. Let's do it. But
yeah.
no,
I guess I
the
do got to
Nuggets.
give. I do have to. I got to give him his flowers because I do keep bringing him up. So if you're at least good enough to get talked out, at least a decent player. So we'll give him that.
That's all I ask, man. Just a little respect. That's all. That's all. You
Just a
know.
little, not much.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. More than
We
anyway.
ain't talking.
We're
We ain't
not.
talking
I'm not
Sean Kemp not in the Hall of Fame disrespect, but
right because
there's a
Melo's
certain
gonna be
level of
first ballot.
disrespect. Mm.
Melo gonna get that
I
first
promise
ballot.
you, if Melo gets in the Hall of Fame before Sean Kemp, I'm going to be very
Dude,
disappointed.
Carmelo, he's probably
He's
the
going
best
to.
player to never have won a chip. And we used to argue that about a lot of people. But if you get that list together and you really look at it, Carmelo's the best player to never win a chip. Better than Barkley, better than T Mac, better than Sean Kemp, better than a lot of these
Is
guys,
he better
man.
than T Mac? Was he
He's
better than
better
T
than
Mac?
T Mac. Yes,
I'm
sir.
pretty sure I'd take Tracy McGrady. A healthy T Mac
You
over a healthy
and
Camelo.
that's why
Give me
and
T
that's why
Mac.
Melo's better. Because Melo ain't never really not been healthy. So
Not. He
that's what I'm
doesn't have
saying.
that T Mac status of unhealthy, at least.
Right. Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. I'm taking Melo either way. He's instant buckets.
I
And
mean,
T Mac, yeah, dude,
you
like I
can choose
said,
that
man.
path.
You can't. I mean, you
Just
can't go wrong either way. But if you want to win, you put Melo in.
ooh, there's the strong words there. Pittsburgh
Pittsburgh
for
for
the
the number.
number one.
Dalton Star, man. Did you see my list or something? Or you
Mm,
just you know the energy, bro?
he
I'm right.
knows it.
Look. we'll talk about it. But I'm right there with you. I had them there last year, just a few minor step backs. But dude, wait till man, we're gonna get into it. Let's finish
We
this NBA Finals.
we might have to
IJ,
bring Dalton on sometime to talk about it. With I can't. I don't know if I can have two Steelers fans together at the same
well,
time.
hold on.
I
I
haven't
wouldn't say
decided if I can.
fandom. I wouldn't
Yeah,
say fan, but I'm definitely sold on their ability to win football games solely because of the head coach situation and now the pieces around him. And KP, I like KP. They try to talk about his hands. Drew Brees is small. A lot of these people small, but KP out here getting it done.
I'm not completely out on KP yet, but I'm definitely not sold on
I know it.
KP. Man, that's a rough. And this is a year. I mean, you got to roll the dice on him. You're somewhat committed. Give it a chance or whatever. But I don't see excellence out of him, and that's what you really need out of a starting quarterback.
Well, for a rookie to get his team to still above 500, I'll ride with it for a while. Like I said, we'll see what this
Mm,
season does. Full treatment, full off season. But to these finals though, I think IJ and these Heat they're gonna get it done. And if you don't know who IJ is, that's Jimmy Butler, illegitimate Jordan. IJ,
mm.
my boy, and he's gonna get it done, man. Like I said, we got Denver winning their second game. Like I said, it would. It's really going the way I said it would, except for I had the game's mismatch. I thought Miami was gonna win the first one, and then Denver get the second one. But it's just going the opposite order. But the thing
Right.
that's gonna remain the same is the Miami streak to the title.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't see it, man. Joker's out here putting up triple doubles like it's
Like
nothing,
he's Russell Westbrook. Like,
man. Well, I mean, Westbrook does do it like it's nothing too, and I'll
right.
give you that. But it's just one of those things. We also had a fan today comment on our last week's video, Booker's dad, and he also called it Miami in six. Hashtag Jimmy Jordan. So
Shout out
Book,
to you.
shout out to Booker's dad because he's out here joining that dude with the
Shout
beard's
out to him.
bandwagon of high hopes and big
Of
disappointments.
logic, man. IJ gonna get it done.
Maybe logic. Look,
Man,
he
if
actually
Booker's dad, you gonna be Booker T messing with me. I'm gonna give you some 5 time respect on that. Ah,
he
that's what
did
I like to
have
hear.
Boston in seven, which was a real close prediction.
Really
That
close.
that that was he. I'd given up on Boston, and he was still with Boston, and they almost had the comeback after he said that. So shout him out.
Big shout out to you, Booker's dad, because I'm right there with you. Like I said, Miami in 6, man. What are we really doing here? I don't care how many jokes this guy's got, how many triple doubles he can get. All these triple doubles that he
His
do be getting,
teammates
and
are
they
getting
still and they only win. They still only win by a small amount of points. I mean, this is
a
like I said, it gets
small
stretched
amount.
out. It gets stretched out in the end when it's garbage time. But dude, don't let the garbage time points fool you. They're not really walking away from these games just cruising. So,
Joker said this ain't a joke no more. He said if you ain't gonna give me the MVP title, I'm gonna
hmm
take it in the finals. Let's go,
that's
big
that's what
boys.
he thought until he had to run across IJ and the Miami Heat, man. They about to do what a team ain't done in a long time, probably since the Pistons number AC go all the way to the finals and win it. We about to see it. It's gonna happen. It's
Mm,
gonna happen.
they could. They
Stamp
could.
it. Stamp it. Well, no, I'm like I said. I mean, triple doubles, all that stuff is good. It's historic numbers, historic run. I'm not taking nothing from Joker. I'm a fan. I mess with him.
Right, right,
Yeah,
yeah.
like
And
he
I ain't
makes
trying to take
triple doubles
nothing
look
of
look so easy. I mean, the easiest triple double accumulation I've ever seen. Like Russell had to work for a few of them, but he's just getting them.
yeah, but
So
my problem with Miami, and I don't want to take nothing away from little Jimmy Jordan or nothing, but Jordan still had Rodman and he still had Pippen. And if you look at what Jimmy Jordan's got, is it's what happens when you get the Wish.com version of Jordan. It's just not it's not happening. So Nugs and six, let's get it. Let's go.
I'll even let you walk away on that because, like I said, we'll see after the game 4 victory in Miami, and then we'll just go from there.
All right,
Yeah,
we'll see, folks.
is it all right? I'm
We'll see,
telling you,
folks.
we're
Well,
gonna
we got
see.
another comment here, real quick, from Dalton. We have all the gears on offense. Picking, Austin, Harris, Muth, Johnson's. Pickett's job is not to lose the ball. Look, that is
And
solid
I'm right there
advice.
with you.
Let's go ahead and let's get what we're here for, the
Let's
AFC
step on
North.
into it. To the
Let's
north.
let's why don't we start with the Steelers while we're at it, since it seems to be the hot topic. I think the Steelers schedule should be the one we kick it off.
Pittsburgh. In the words of my southern ancestry, Pittsburgh. Let's do it.
Oh, it doesn't look good. You see that to start this season. We're looking at the 49ers.
Well, how come that don't look good? They're gonna
What do you
have
mean?
even
How come? That
what,
doesn't look
Jimmy
good.
Jimmy
You
G's
talking
not
about
down there no more. Jimmy G was the one getting them win. Don't forget. Like I said, I'm not sold on Purdy. And until I know if my boy Lance coming back all the way healthy, the 49ers will be a highly anticipated watch, but still a scratch. We're gonna have to see. I like the Steelers in this game. I actually do. They're
you
coming in
actually
with a
do?
guy. Yeah, they coming in with a guy who's guaranteed starter. There's none of this quarterback riffraff going on. All they got to do is gel and keep this thing going. They ended the season on a high note with the win. They're about to go ahead and get this ball rolling. And you've seen all the weapons. Dalton, pull up Dalton's comment again, if you
All
don't
right,
mind.
give me 1 second.
Pull,
One
pull,
second.
pull,
One
pull up Dalton's
second.
comment again. Because he's taking the words right out of my mouth. Like I said, and in the accumulation of talent that they got on the ball this year, because last year they didn't have nobody. They
Right.
made it. They obviously they made it to over 500 when everybody wrote them off except for me and the people who's actually in Pittsburgh and probably Dalton. And they did that
And
with no. Go ahead.
and I'm supposed to believe this is the list in the AFC North that's supposed to have me talking about them.
Yeah, because who else is in the North that's worth talking about? We
The
talking
Bengals, the
ha
Ravens,
ha.
maybe even the
Maybe
Browns.
maybe the Ravens. Out of everybody, the only team I'm worried about in the North besides this team winning it all is the Ravens. They're the only other team who can win the North. Like what are we
Hopefully,
talking about,
TJ and Alex will work on Porty or Lance all day. Look,
man?
there's a
TJ
strong
Watt your
argument for
group.
that. Look, I'm a big TJ Watt fan, so
Man,
there
you
is
already
some
said,
truth
and
to that.
he be all over your boy Burrow,
Mm. So you're
all
gonna
over.
mark him? Are we marking him? Are you marking him down as a win
I'm
versus the
marking it
Niners?
down. You know
All right, I got
I
you.
am.
I
And I'm
got
not even a
you,
Pittsburgh
little.
fan, but I'm in reality, baby. Pittsburgh over the Niners all day. Yes, sir.
All right, all right.
Yes, sir.
Let me see who's next on the list. We have the Browns going into week 2. How do you feel about the Browns?
Dub. What are we talking about? Pittsburgh starting 2-0. Just I'm still not.
Mm,
What? Please, Dub. And I don't
uh,
even need to get into the detail. You can
so,
tell
so
me why you think the Browns is going to win that game. I'll listen to that. But even I think you're trying to convince yourself with that. So you
yeah,
just tell me.
I am trying to convince myself that the Browns have a better overall team. It's questionable if we're going to
It's
call Watson a
questionable.
better quarterback.
Thank you.
I
And it's that fact alone that is in question that I know the Steelers are going to win this game because this ain't Deshaun of 5 years ago.
Browns at home too is what Dalton said. I believe that's what he said. Dalton, yeah, Browns at home too. Yeah, yeah,
Pittsburgh.
yeah, yeah. You know what? You know what?
Come on. Come
I'm joining.
on.
I'm gonna jump in.
Come
You're catching me
on.
early. Let's get it. We're 500 on my board to start this season. First 2 games. I can get with it. I'm fine with that.
All right.
Next on the list is the Steelers for week 3. Oh, the Steelers. What a garbage fire of a franchise. One of the reasons why we definitely didn't start with the West. Let
Well,
me see. TJ has 2 picks against old Burrow.
I know.
Oof.
We saw like I said, Dalton. If you ain't seen it, you can go back to the beginning of our timeline and watch the game. Where I called that the Steelers was going to beat the Bengals, and I even said them go as far as the Bengals was going to Bengal, and they went and got blown out. Like
Mm.
it's no mistake. Like I'm still
That's a,
not sold on the big. I'm sold on Burrow. I'm not sold on the Bengals.
and
Joe Burrow's a stud.
we do need to get that T-shirt out because I am starting to see that that phrase fly around the internet, and it's starting to make me wonder who's all watching.
I told you that. I told Mister. I told you they watching us because we the only ones telling the truth.
Right.
Um, but
So we
no.
got the Raiders. Raiders week 3. I think we were both gonna go with a win here, right?
Right, of course. Jimmy G's not playing. That's the reason why I'm going with the win for the Steelers.
Just a quick reminder: you have the Steelers starting off three
3 and
and
0, baby.
zero.
Yes,
So let's go
sir.
to week 4. Let's go to week 4 where we have the Texans versus the Steelers. Oh
And this
my
is
God!
and this is the first game that the Steelers will lose.
Really, the Texans.
CJ Stroud
Mm.
and the Texans are going to make a statement. It's going to be their first win of the season, which is going
It-
to give them enough credibility to move
oh,
forward in the rest, especially in the AFC South. I
ah,
got the Texans winning this game.
the Texans. See, and that's where we kind of split here. And I want to be high on the Texans this year. I truly do. I think the Steelers win this game. I think it's going to come down to a coaching matchup. And if you're going to give me that question,
Hmm.
Tomlin versus the coach, it's going to usually be Tomlin, except for
That's true.
probably a handful of guys. See what we hear. The AFC North would be what the AFC West was, should have
Should
been
have been
last year.
last year.
That
I
is,
can agree with that almost
oh, don't
100%.
spin facts. Listen here, folks.
I
That is
swear, man.
that is so true. It
Dalton, did
is
my notes
not
leak
even
on
funny.
Twitter? Are you? How did you? How are you getting all my information, Dalton?
He
Goodness,
might follow us on
he must
He's
be.
he is a big Steelers fan, so I'll give him that. He follows them pretty religiously, and anytime he can catch some Steelers news from us, I'm pretty sure he pays attention. So
But shout out to
he's
him. I'm with you
yeah.
on that one though. Uh, like I said, I'm
But
just indifferent on this Texans game. I think, like I said, this is gonna be a game, a statement win for them, a must win probably.
but what is really wild to me, and I would not have in my head before this show, I would not have predicted this. But here we are at week 4, and we actually both have them at 3-1. And
Hmm.
different routes to get there. And I think it really could be 2-2, depending on that Browns game. But we're looking at 3-1 right now, a consensus 3-1 through the first 4, which is really wild.
Hmm.
Week 5, we are looking at the Ravens. What are you
Now
doing versus the Ravens?
that's that's in Baltimore, isn't it?
I believe that
Is that
should
in
be
Baltimore?
in Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah, it is in Pittsburgh. I got the Steelers in this game there. Steelers at home.
Mm, mm.
They
I'm
bottle
going to give
they
them the
they bottle up that would be offensive attack that's coming if OBJ ain't hurt by then already. Um, yeah, I'm going with the Steelers in this game. 4-1, baby.
I'm a big fan of Lamar Jackson, so I'm going to stick to my bias and go with the Ravens on
Don't
that
don't
one.
say it like that, Mr. Casey. You know I'm the Lamar Jackson advocate. Most of this off season,
Right.
beating down the doors for my boy Lamar,
Here we
but
go
just
to
not this game.
week 6. We're looking at the Rams at LA.
And I have another Steelers win on the board.
Another one on the board.
Yeah, the Rams are in shambles. They're done. It's time to retool that whole thing. And if you haven't watched How to Fix Your Team, we did a segment on the Rams about how to fix them, and it was almost unfixable. So
Yeah,
besides
and I'm
besides
gonna.
setting TNT off in the lobby, we don't know.
And in my head, I kind of wanted to go with the Rams, and then you referenced that video, and that's what locked in, switching it for me. Let's go with the Steelers over the Rams. Next, we have the Jags versus Steelers at Steelers.
And unfortunately,
Ooh,
this is the Steelers' second loss. They got to play the prince that was promised, the prince of the AFC. Uh, there's no doubt in my mind the Jaguars win this game on their way to winning the AFC South. Just another notch on the belt. This will move the Steelers, in my opinion. Where am I? They're 4-2 now. On
Uh,
mine, on my
you're at
side,
5-2, and I'm
five and
at
two.
yeah, and I'm at 4-3 because I'm also giving the Jags a win here on this one. So we're both consensus. Next on the list is the Titans.
Dub.
Man, talking is this kind of a cupcake
I'm
schedule
trying to
here?
tell you. I'm
What
trying to
the?
tell you, bro. That's what I'm saying. They're going to
Ooh,
win the North, bro. I'm telling you,
ooh, we
Dubs.
might have to bet the over on the Steelers win total. We might have to look up that what that is right now.
No, for real.
So I think we're both going to give them a win over the Titans,
Oh, for sure. They're
right?
watching the Titans. Who's the quarterback? The dude they finally drafted after a
I don't even
while. They was
I don't even
waiting
think
on.
they've made that decision yet.
Mm, yeah.
Next on the list, oh my God, I can't believe this, but we have the Packers.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one.
Another one. Can we really?
Oh,
This is starting to get.
it's
I feel
starting to
like
get
this.
nasty. It's getting
There's
ugly.
no way. There's no way. Look, right now, you're really looking at a 7-2
7-2
Pittsburgh
Steeler
Steeler.
team.
The first nine through you. I actually have them at 6-3, which is pretty close, but that is pretty nuts. Um, that is crazy. Oh my
Oh
God.
man, no, for
Where are we
real,
at?
man.
Next game is the Browns again.
And another one.
You
Sweep of
giving
the
them another one?
Browns. Yeah,
This
the
is
Browns
in
are swept.
Cleveland.
I know where it's at.
Well,
Cleveland don't care it's in Cleveland.
I'm going Browns on this one. I'm going
I got the
Browns on this
Steelers at
one.
8-2, baby.
Right, and I have them at 5-4 at this point. Yeah, 5-4, and you are at 7-2.
7-2, yeah, my
Seven and
man.
two. So week 10 is going to be versus the Bengals.
And this is
Ooh,
where the Pittsburgh Steelers will lose their third game. They will get caught
this
by
is
the Bengals coming off a high win streak. They're gonna be too high, too amped, and the Bengals have a way to sneak in and ruin a streak. It's just something about them. They're streak busters. I'll give them that credit. They'll steal a win against the Steelers right here, moving them to 7-3.
mm. Yeah, and actually, I have this. This is when they slide back to 500. Perfect spot for
Ooh,
Tomlin, right? At 5-5, because they're losing to the
ooh, you got them
Bengals.
on a nasty
But good
losing
news,
streak.
it
But
is
good news.
back to
the
reality. But it
what
gets better from here.
it does. It gets a little better. Only in
You
two
got the
spots I can
Cardinals
see.
next.
And
Cardinals
that'll be a
next.
dub for the Steelers. That'll move them on up to 8-3.
We've got them at 6-5 after the Cardinals game, and then we have the Patriots versus the Steelers.
And that's when they will lose their fourth game against Bill Belichick and the Mac Jones led Patriots, future champions of the AFC East.
I actually have them winning this game,
Okay.
the Steelers over the Patriots. So that's actually going to get them back to
Prime time.
7-5. 7-5 for me. So we're getting back into that direction.
Okay.
Oh, another interesting one. Late Steelers versus Colts in Indy.
And I have the Steelers running away with that game.
I'm going to be a gambler here and take a roll on the dice with Anthony Richardson
Mm.
and go with the Colts. I think he's going to be a little bit phenomenal. That team has really been a quarterback away for a couple of years. So let's see what they can do with the young guy. I'm going to predict the Colts.
He's no
That's going to
KP.
bring them back to 7-6 for me.
Ooh, I don't even know where I'm at on the record now after this win. What is that? That'll be their
The
ninth win of the
Bengals?
season
Yeah. Are you
after they
going with
beat
the
the
Bengals?
Colts. Oh yeah, no, I'm going Steelers against the
Are
Bengals
you
in the
going Steelers?
rematch.
Uh, Steelers for over the Bengals in the rematch, huh?
Mm-hmm. Cause like I
I'm
said, I got the
predicting
Bengals winning the first one. Steelers gonna catch them on the second one.
it's going to bring them. I don't. I can't do it. I can't go Bengals there. I'm going Bengals. I'm going
Ooh,
Bengals. Let's
Okay.
go. And then to finish off this, or next is Seahawks versus Steelers in Seattle.
In Seattle. And I'm gonna go with the Steelers again in this game. They're gonna
Mm,
best Geno Smith at the end of the year, moving into the new year. Seahawks will be out of playoff contention probably by then. We'll see. Well, we'll see how that division goes. We'll talk about it. But definitely going with the Seahawks losing this game to the Steelers.
mm, I'm picking the Seahawks there. And then January 7th to end the season, we have the Steelers in Baltimore play the Ravens.
Hmm.
What you what you looking like there?
Oh, we know the Steelers win this game. No, they lose this game, honestly. Lamar Jackson, they're going to need this win just so they can get into the playoffs because the Steelers have already won the North. So they probably won't even play Kenny Pickett or some other guys. The Ravens will win this game.
Yeah, I'm right there with you, and that's gonna finish the season for me right at 7-10, and it will be the first losing season for Tomlin, according to me. And I think I think you actually, wildly enough, have them looking at like 11-6 this
11
season,
and 6. Yes, sir.
which is a bold prediction. We'll call it that. I could call it a lot of things in life. That's a bold prediction.
Hey man, I'm just looking at the schedule, man. They got so many stretches in there of easy football. If they just stay
Right.
on the ball, we looking at the Kings of the North.
I'm gonna go grab a pen. Why don't you tell these people the biggest games the Steelers are gonna hit real quick?
Well, we already know. Well, the biggest ones with the most implication are going to be the second game versus the Bengals, the pre Christmas Eve game, and then I got the other biggest game being the first time they play the Browns because it's just going to show the world that Cleveland's not ready, and it's just going to give KP another win. So between those two games, they're probably the most influential because one is starting off how the North is going to look, and then one is going to kind of end how the North is look as far as contention. Because after the Bengals lose that second game against, with the rematch against the Steelers, it's going to bump them down to third and probably out of playoff position, unless unless.
Okay. Okay, comedy hour's over.
What do you
Which team you
mean?
want to?
What do you
Which
mean?
team you want to go next?
Please,
That
comedy
ain't
hour ain't
happening.
even started yet. It's only
Yeah.
funny if you don't think that the Steelers and the Ravens gonna be in ain't gonna be in it.
Well, I tell
That's
you
the
what,
comedy.
I think the Ravens will be in it, and I think the Bengals are going to be in it.
Ah,
I think it's 7-10. We might have to not count the
then again,
Bengals
last year you said that
or
they
the
wasn't gonna
Steelers in
make
it.
it above
Well,
500, so I'm gonna go with your track record on this.
oh, true, true. I did not have them, and they did it. They really just did it. Which team would you like to bounce to next?
We've already. Let's go ahead and go to your precious Bengals. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The Bengals and their Bengals. Let's see it.
Bengals and their Bengals. They're going to start the season off with the Browns.
Which should be a dub for them. Not gonna lie.
All right, let me get my brackets. We're both going a dub with that one. And then week 2 is going to be the Ravens.
And they'll lose that
You
game.
going win loss? I also have them losing week 2 to the Ravens. Week 3 is going to be the Rams.
And that's a game that they should win handily.
I would definitely agree with that. The Bengals over the Rams by a mile. Somehow they have a cupcake streak here. Then we're looking at the Titans. Bengals versus the Titans.
I have the Titans beating the Bengals because the Bengals will find a way to
Oh,
bingle that game.
yeah, I have the Titans winning that one. I don't see that happening. Next might be the worst team in football, the Arizona Cardinals.
and they'll still find a way to beat the Bengals.
You taking
No, I'm
you
not.
giving the Bengals.
No, I'm not. I'm going with the Bengals in this one.
Okay, let me erase that one. I had to do. I checked it off quick too. I believe you too much to Mister Don't Play over here. Had me really thinking he was about to give the Cardinals over the
So where I
Bengals.
got them at 3-2 right now, the
Yeah,
Bengals,
you're at 3-2. I'm at 4-1.
and
And
then they got to play Geno early. I'm going with the
gee,
Seahawks. I'm going with
Seahawks
an
there.
early Geno. Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I'm going Bengals over the Seahawks.
Ooh, giving
Next,
them
we
the
have the
dubs. The
Bengals at
Niners,
Niners.
and I'm giving the Niners the dub on that one too.
I'm actually gonna join that party with you. Shout out Frank
Hmm.
from Cinema Store Podcast.
Shout out to you,
And
Big Frank.
yeah, shout out Big Frank, 49ers fan. So I'm going to go with the 49ers too. And next that week, we have a banger of a game, one of the games of the year, Bills versus Bengals.
And this will be the game that moves them back into 500 for me. They'll be 4-4 after they beat the Buffalo Bills.
And I currently have them 6-2 after beating the Buffalo Bills. Next on the list is the Tennessee, excuse me, the Texans versus the Bengals.
And I have this as a highly touted, highly contested game, and I just have the Bengals edging them out for the win.
It should be an interesting one. I think that should
It
be a low
is. I
key.
think CJ is going to go off, honestly, but we're going to see. Health permits.
After that, we have the Bengals at Baltimore
And I
versus the
have
Ravens.
Baltimore winning that game one again, yet again,
And I'm
which
going to
will,
give. I'm going. I'm going to go Cincinnati, and that currently has them at 8-2 for me, and you have them at 5-5.
yes, sir.
At that point, next game is going to be the Steelers versus the Bengals,
And that's the game that I said they would steal from them because they would need it. So that'll put them to 6-5.
and I'm also going to give them the win there, 9-2. Then we have Jags at Bengals.
And this is where they lose to the Prince that was promised for their sixth loss of the season, moving them back to 6-6.
And just because I hate the Bengals, I'm also going to jump on the Jaguars bandwagon and hope that they can pull off this upset somehow.
No, it won't be an
Uh,
upset. Trevor's gonna be slinging by then. Watch.
Hopefully, hey, he's got some weapons around him this year. It's more of a
Exactly.
contest this year than it was last year.
For sure.
Next on the list is Colts at Cincinnati.
And I have the Colts winning this game in an upset,
Mm,
which
mm.
will move the Cincinnati Bengals to 6-7. Or no, was that 6-8 now for me?
You are, yep, 6-8, and I am currently at 10-3.
All
Well,
right.
that doesn't sound right. Hold on. You're at 6-8
Yeah.
or 6-7. Excuse me,
Six
six
and
seven.
seven. Okay.
Yeah, sorry, I can't count.
No
It's all
problem.
these all these simple lines that are confusing. I'm really
Oh
like I have a
god.
little slash marks and I can't count them.
Right.
Next is the Vikings at the Bengals.
And I have the Vikings winning this game. The Kings of the
Oh
North.
no, the
Kirk
Kings
Cousins
of
and
the
Justin
gave up,
Jefferson.
and no more Dalvin Cook. So I'm going Cincinnati on this one. I don't like what Minnesota's doing this year. And next is Bengals at Steelers.
And I have the Steelers winning this game. Like I said, it'll be the rematch, moving the Bengals to their ninth loss of the season, and
That really
officially
is
out
too nice. Is
and
that
officially
right?
out of playoff contention.
Oh, here we go again. Good games late. Game of the year, right? Bengals at Kansas City.
And I've got Cincinnati winning this game.
You have Cincinnati winning in Kansas City.
Yeah, until
Just
Kansas City
10%
can
win.
beat them in the regular season at home, I'm inclined to pick the Bengals for once in this situation, and maybe that'll be the trigger that Kansas City needs to actually win.
Mm. I actually have them taking the loss here,
I'm sure
and
you do. And in my
I,
soul, I have them taking the loss too. But I'm putting this one on paper though. Last year they
right,
burned me. We'll see what happens this year.
yeah, and we would bet what we're saying here. So if you hear him
Right.
say that, that is because we would be willing to put money on these games. So
Yeah. Right.
last game of the year is Browns versus Bengals.
And the Bengals will win that game, moving them to their overall finish of what? 8-9.
You said the Browns?
Yeah, they'll beat the Browns.
Okay, okay, got you. Yeah, that gives you 8 and 9, and
Yep.
I'm looking at a 13-4 season here. So kind of split up a little differently, but uh, slight difference. A little different here. Would you have them? What was that? 8 and 9.
Hmm.
Whew, now we got 13-3, 13-4. Excuse me.
Yep. That looks about right. That looks about right.
Cincinnati.
Probably 7-10, depending on how that Chiefs will work out. I don't never really pick against Kansas City, but you know, we'll see. And I
Yeah,
wouldn't be
I mean
mad if they
it's
lost that game, of course. So,
right. No, I feel like that Burrowhead comment really struck a nerve in that
oh
Kansas
yeah.
City locker room,
But see,
and
they was already high off that playoff atmosphere too. So you can't say nothing like that, especially had in playoff Pat. Well, I said Project
yeah,
Pat. You don't say that to Project Pat. You might get regular season Pat. The
but
Project Pat.
he's had trouble with Cincinnati in the playoffs. Let's not forget that. That's happened
Oh, that's
before.
been washed away. We won a bowl.
True,
Thank you,
true.
Cincinnati.
Well, let's go with another team that actually matters in this division.
Oh yeah,
No,
the Ravens, baby. I know that's what you talking about. Couldn't be Cleveland.
you
Let's
know,
do
you know what it is.
it. Yes, sir.
Uh,
Yes,
and the
sir.
Browns fans, if you're watching the full podcast and you took offense to that, we don't care.
We
So
don't. We
we
you
don't.
got you got Kareem from us. You should have been grateful. Y'all should have did
Right.
something with it. So there's that.
This is Cincinnati, and now we're going to Browns.
So I have Pittsburgh right now winning this division at 11-6.
So far,
Yep, the Bengals in their rightful place in third at 8-9. And this
oof.
is the most interesting. Like I said, this is the one. We'll see what the numbers turn out on this one. Like I said, I'm not trying to
Yeah.
set this up the way it is. I'm just calling it.
Right. Yeah, we're
Okay.
just going game by game, making our numbers. So you can even like we're showing where it's at. You can't question it. You
Right.
see, you want to change. You got different opinions. Let us know and let it show.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
so to start the season, this kind of a I like this matchup. Kind of
I really do too.
Texans at Ravens.
And you know what? As much as I want to pick these Texans and CJ Stroud, my boy, I have got to go with Lamar comeback action Jackson to set the league on fire. Because lest you forget, y'all, in all reality, Lamar Jackson is probably still the second best quarterback in the league. I know these last few years don't make it
Mm,
seem that way because of what's happened with the teams and injuries and stuff. But like I said, let's not forget he's only about 3 years removed from being the only other unanimous MVP besides Tom Brady. So
yeah.
I'm more inclined to lean on Lamar Jackson's shoulder than any other quarterback whose name is not Pat Mahomes or Trevor Lawrence right now.
Mm.
Um,
Or Joe Burrow.
Oh, Burrow. I
Or
give it to
Burrow.
Burrow. Burrow's cold. He's a hitter. But I still got Lawrence and Jackson over Burrow though. I'll still take either one of
Yeah,
them.
and I would have Burrow over both of them pretty easily. So
Yeah,
that's
I
just where we
understand.
split.
Well, that's where we
You know.
split, but still
Uh,
top four regardless. You can't
Yeah,
really
and
miss.
and that's why I kind of have Lamar Jackson at as like five fringe top five. If I don't put him in my fifth, he's like sixth or seventh. So
Well, I'm
he's
hoping he's in your fifth because Josh Allen's not better, and I hope he's not in your top five. And it better not be fucking Herbert. So, so if it's not Jackson, I don't know who you got. Really, like who are we talking about? I need to know.
well, let's stick to the Ravens here.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
stick to the
let's go.
Ravens here.
I just gotta
let's
know. I need to
yeah,
know.
let's not disappoint these Ravens fans with our top five, top seven quarterbacks here, because
Baltimore, stand up. Y'all know I mess with y'all. Be more. Let's
right.
do it. All right,
And
let's do.
the next on the list,
Woo.
week two is the Bengals.
And we've already talked about that.
Right, so I have them losing and you have them winning.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes,
then week
sir.
three is going to be the Colts at Baltimore. This is a banger of a game too.
And the Ravens will move on to 3-0.
And I'm actually going to give the Colts a win here.
Ooh,
I feel this Anthony
ooh.
Richardson.
Yeah, that's a bold feeling. You want to say, baby, baby, he's got that feeling.
Yeah, but
Somebody
this
tuned the
is
baby Michael.
this should be an exciting game of what kind of future quarterback styles are looking like right here early. So it should be. I like this Colts Ravens game.
I do. It's a lot of young. These first 3 weeks really are young quarterback mashups. So I mean, it's
Ooh,
really primed to be good football. Um,
bangers. And you
yes,
can
but
actually we stay young for quite a while because the week after that you have the Browns and
but
Watson's
Deshaun is
not really
washed, so
old.
right, he's just
He's just
washed. That's all.
yeah, yeah, it's different.
And we both know that I got the Ravens moving to 4-0 in this one.
And I'm also going to give them win, giving them up to 2-2 after week four, back to 500. Just what they needed was a Browns matchup,
Hmm.
and then we have the Steelers on the list,
And they will move to 5-0.
5-0.
Like
I'm
I said,
actually joining you right there at 3-2.
they were going to lose. Pittsburgh will lose that first matchup with them. Like I said, because the Lamar comeback tour. But we'll see how the tides turn. Let's go.
Right. Next on the list is the cupcake game of the week.
Woo.
Ravens at
See,
Tennessee Titans.
you say that, but I got the Titans winning this game. OBJ's go.
Whoa.
OBJ goes down as tradition because with too many games in, he ain't gonna be able to hold up, and that's gonna be the catalyst, and it'll move the Ravens to 5-1
OBJ, no OBJ. Lamar, no
all
Lamar.
day.
I don't care. Give me the Ravens over the Titans. That's putting them back to 4-2 for me, and you've currently got them at 5-1.
Yes, sir.
Next on the list is the Lions versus the Ravens.
And this is another one that's gonna sting Ravens fans. I got the Lions winning this game. I
Mm.
believe it's going to be a game. Jeff Goff, I said Jeff Goff, Jared Goff, and he's got weapons down there. Williamson will be back
Suspended.
by then off suspend. He'll be back by then. I thought he only got
Oh,
6 games.
is that what it is? This is 6
I
games.
thought it was 6. If it's more than that, ladies and gentlemen, correct me if I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments. But I
It's
believe he
6.
should be back for this game.
All right, that fixes it for me. Let me
He did
let me
that
get back.
fixes it for me.
Let me get back on my Lions bandwagon. Uh, uh, that's one of the things that I was like, well, if you know,
Yeah.
all right, all right.
He said that fixed it for me. Well, folks, I got them at 5-2 right now. The
Yeah,
Baltimore Ravens.
and this is where I meet. We meet back up 5-2. We both have them at 5-2 at this point of the season. So it's kind of wild. We split how we got here, but we're
Right.
both here at five and
But we're
two.
here now. Right.
So next on the list is Ravens at
And
Cardinals.
I'm sure this is the consensus that they move on to 6-2 at this point.
Absolutely, there's not a better bet in the look. I would mortgage the house on this
I
game
was trying to tell you.
already.
I put
Oh,
everything on the line. Everything
everything.
I got. Yes, sir.
Seahawks versus Ravens.
And this is what I like to call the battle of the birds. And I got Geno Smith in this game, stealing the win against Lamar Action Jackson, that'll move the Ravens to 6-3 on the season.
I'm right there with you. I'm a little
Let's
nervous.
go. That's
I'm a
what I'm
little
saying,
nervous about
Geno,
that one.
man.
They just have so many weapons in Seattle too. It's a
That's what
dangerous team,
dude. They're a really good team. Like I said, especially early in the season. They might not make the
right?
offs, but they're gonna
Like if
always be scrappy. We're gonna see.
Could you imagine the Seahawks if they actually had a quarterback?
They do. His
Wow.
name's Gino.
Mm. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know that QBR?
Anyway, back on topic, we have the Browns at the Ravens.
And this will move the Ravens to another win. They will become 7-3 on the season after beating the Cleveland Browns.
And that's a consensus opinion among the crowd. So next after that is the Bengals at the Ravens.
The Bengals will steal this game because they have a tendency to do that. Like I said, they'll sneak in and win this game. They got us.
We're,
They're gonna split.
we're on track there. Oh, this is a banger. Ravens
Hmm
at Chargers.
And this is where I have the Ravens losing their next game to Justin Herbert. Something about these Chargers that the Ravens can't beat. I don't know why, but I got the Chargers,
I've got the
which will move them
Ravens.
to their fifth loss of the season.
I've got the Ravens.
Okay,
I,
I don't
I'm
blame you.
because the Chargers were not allowed to
Oh,
see it on
every day of the
YouTube.
week, and
Right.
twice on Saturday.
What I'm predicting is actually since it's November 26th, the Chargers will no longer have the depth chart that they currently have, so it's a little bit
It
more
will play
even
a
matchup
factor,
for the Ravens.
right? It will
Yeah.
play a factor.
The week after that, we have the Rams at the Ravens.
And the Ravens will move on to their next win, which will put them at what is that for me? That 9-5, no 8-5 on the season now.
Yeah, you're at 8-5, and I'm at 9-5, or 9-4.
Nine and
Excuse me.
four, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yep, we're in agreement on that one. And then after that, the game that's going to give them their sixth loss of the season, that would eventually have them tied with Pittsburgh at this moment before Pittsburgh wins the rest of their games and wins the North. They're going to play the Prince that was promised, and Jacksonville got an L with Baltimore's name on it. Jacksonville wins that game December 17th, all day, twice. Prime time, too.
It is prime time.
Prime time.
Let's go.
Do
Let's do it. I'm
it.
gonna.
Come on. You know you feel it. Come on now. So the sixth loss of the season right there for the Ravens. And it's not a bad season. Dominant season so far still.
All right, that's the fifth one for me.
And
Oh,
sixth
poor
one for
Jags.
me.
Ooh, Ravens at Niners.
And I have the
This,
Ravens winning this game that will move them on to 10-6,
mm,
beating the Niners
and
in
I
a
have them
must win
losing
game.
this game. Having them where we meet back up at 10-6.
And you know what's so crazy? Because this next game, I have them losing. And I wonder if you do too. Because
You
these are
know I
your
do.
boys.
You
You
know I
know
do.
it.
You know I do.
and,
Don't play with these
and
fans.
this
I'm
is the
sorry.
game. I'm
Yeah, I'm a
telling you.
Dolphins. I'm a low key Dolphins fan. So I'm a Tyreek Hill fan. So give me the Dolphins over the Ravens.
Yes, sir. I'm going to go with the Dolphins too on that one, which will move them to their seventh loss of the season.
And last game of the year is Steelers at Ravens.
And you know what? I think I'm going to have to renege. I'm pretty sure the Steelers will probably win this game too.
Mm,
I think
mm.
so. So I'm
And
going
I
to
have
have
the
to.
Ravens
Uh,
winning this one.
and so I have the Ravens at a final tally win loss. What is that? 8 losses on the season,
Yeah, 9-8.
9 wins, and the Steelers will be 12 wins on the season instead of 11, 12-6, or 12-5. I mean,
You want to move them to 12-5?
yeah, clear. I thought the Ravens would win that last game, but I'm pretty sure the Steelers going to win it because it's going to be tighter than I thought originally.
I'm going to change the scorecard to 12-5 for you on the Steelers. I have the Ravens finishing 10-7. You have them at 9-8, which is, I think, either one of them still a pretty decent season. If I'm not
Yeah,
gonna,
it's going to be enough to get them
it's,
second because, like I said, is going to be 2 games under that. Baltimore or Cincinnati.
yeah, that's kind of wild. That is kind of wild. I think it's That's very kind of fringe playoffy. We'll see what they can do. See if we can't sneak on in back to the playoffs. I think the Ravens can. I don't know if 10-7's enough, but I really hope it's enough to sneak right on back in.
Oh, they're gonna get there. They're gonna get there. Huh. And you want to talk about the most underwhelming team of the division? Mm-mm-mm.
Mm-mm-mm.
Mm. Mm-mm. Does Cleveland even win a game this season?
There's questions. There's questions, and there shall be answers, folks. Let's break down this schedule. Ooh, Lodi, Lodi, do I feel 40 when I look at this schedule? This is a rough one.
It
All right, to
is.
start it out, we are kicking off the season with Bengals. That's going to be a loss for the both of us, I would assume.
Mm-hmm. For
Week
sure.
2 is going to be the Steelers.
And that's another L for them.
I'm joining that club. Titans versus the Browns.
I have the Titans winning this game.
I'm going to give the Browns their first win here, first the Titans.
Okay.
Week 4, we have, right, we don't even, like, it's not even up for
Yes, okay.
discussion.
Hey, okay.
Week 4, the Ravens versus Browns.
I have another loss for the Browns here.
That's going to be speaking for the both of us. And 49ers versus the Browns. Go ahead, preach it.
A loss for the Browns there.
Look, I'm not even looking at his screen or his face right now, and I know his answer. It is pretty simple here. Browns versus Colts.
I have the Browns winning their first game. They'll beat the
Ooh,
Colts.
ooh, look at us. Look at us staying. Let me make sure I got this count right. I think I might messed up my tally system. We might both be at 1-5 here.
I believe we are at 1-5, both of us.
All right, let's get back to this losing streak. And we are looking at the Browns versus the Seahawks.
And you know I'm going Geno in this matchup for sure.
That's going to put them at 6-1. And Cardinals versus Browns.
And this one, I'm honestly torn. You talk about two of the worst teams to stripe it up. I mean, to strap up a helmet. I'm going Cards in this game.
Are you?
I'm picking the Cardinals. Let's do
Uh,
it.
I'm actually going with the Browns. They are a dumpster fire, but they are not the dumpster fire that is Arizona Cardinals. So after they destroyed my picks last year, I'm determined to
Ooh,
destroy them this year.
I understand.
Next week after that is the Browns at Baltimore for
Of course,
consistent L.
right.
Steelers at Browns.
L. I'm giving
Yeah,
another
let's
L
do it.
shot. Like I said they're the only team that I have. I think both teams sweeping. No, they're gonna split with the Bengals some point down the road because the Bengals are gonna bingle that. Like I said.
I think we should actually change their name to El Chapo because they chop these L's.
I'm trying to tell you.
Uh, ooh, here we go. Browns at Broncos.
Oh, give me Cleveland all day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be
Shout
their
out
third win of
Cleveland.
the season. Right. Shout out to
Uh,
Big Cleveland.
yeah. Shout out. We love you this week.
I'm
We're
trying
big
to tell
fans
you.
of Watson. Um,
What,
yeah,
Thanksgiving too? That
yeah.
Thanksgiving
Thanksgiving.
game?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Go ahead, cook.
I'll
Russell's
be
gonna cook.
I'll be
So,
thankful if y'all beat them horses. So let's do it. That'll give y'all third win on my book, I think. Is that the third one or
oh
second for
no,
me?
that is your second. That
Ooh,
is.
good night.
I'm at 3. I made it to 3, but you're only at 2. So we're close. But
Goodness, right. Ooh.
next one is Browns
Oh,
at
okay.
Rams.
Here we go. Here's your third win, Cleveland. Let me
All
go.
right, a little
Y'all
win
get
streak.
two
Look
back
at
to
this,
back. Right.
back
Y'all
to
get two
back.
back to back.
But you
Another
know
one.
what we do right after that, right?
Give them that L. Because
Give
there
them
ain't
that
no
out.
way.
They're playing the Jags, so that is. I think that's. Number 10 for you. You currently have them at
Oof.
3-10.
Yeah,
I'm at
sounds about
four
right.
and nine.
Ooh, good night.
Bears versus Browns.
Oh, they gotta play another Buckeye? That's an L. Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's go, Justin.
consensus.
Get that dub. And then they
Browns
gotta play
versus
another Buckeye?
Browns versus
Let's go.
Texans.
Let's go, CJ.
And
Oh,
Jets
good.
versus Browns.
Good night. A Ron putting them to bed.
And that's
Goodness
going to be a
gracious.
consensus.
Y'all, is that it? Is that all the games y'all win, Cleveland? No, the
Bengals.
last game of the year. Y'all will bingle the Bengals to get them. Y'all will bingle the Bengals to finish an astounding 4-win season.
And this is actually the only one that we 100% agree on
We're tied.
at 4-10.
They're
We've
trash, bro.
4-10.
Ladies and
That
gentlemen, it don't
is
get more organic than that, ladies and gentlemen.
right. That clearly made it right on back. And if you're a Cleveland fan and you hate this message,
Like we
just
said earlier.
remember the truth hurts sometimes.
In the words of my boy Stephen A. Smith back in the day, we don't care.
Mm.
Let me let you know something. We don't care.
But don't worry, you only guaranteed every dollar of the contract, so don't worry.
Man, right.
It's
Yo,
okay.
you got your guy.
whether whether you like it or not, kind of like the ladies that were oh, never mind. We'll
Hey,
leave that alone.
look, it is Cleveland. Like I said Kareem was there.
Mm,
They'll look past some things.
mm,
So good night.
right.
Yeah, bro. That was too organic. 4-10. Like it just it tastes right. It sounds right.
I think that's we might have went one too high there, but and we're not talking about
Right.
losses.
Right. Exactly. Goodness
So
gracious. Yeah, because
yeah,
that
so
Bengal
that'd
could have
be
gone the way.
yeah, just a quick recap for the shorts, the YouTube short algorithm. The recap: that dude with a beard is looking at the Steelers, 12-5. I am at 7-10.
Woo.
The Cincinnati Bengals, I have them at 13-4. That dude with a beard has them at 8-9.
Yes, sir.
The Baltimore Ravens, I currently have them at 10-7. That dude with a beard is at 9-8.
Hmm.
And the Browns are consensus pick for 4-10. Welcome, welcome to the fifth pick in the NFL draft.
I'm trying to tell you, if not the fourth, you might go get you a guy then.
Mark,
Find your quarterback of the future.
nope,
Whew.
he's already gone. He's
Right.
gone.
He's already all right. Oh, good night. Yeah.
You messed
Now,
up
are
and
they
you were
even getting a
bad,
first
but not
rounder?
bad enough.
They're not even
Hmm?
getting a first rounder next year, are they? Didn't they
I
trade
think they
like?
do.
I
They
don't
gotta have him
know.
back.
Are
They
you
they
sure?
gotta have him back by then.
Because the
There's no
trade.
way. Because even Denver's out of they're out of the they get draft picks next year. So I would imagine they got to be done. There's no way they're still paying that bill.
I think they're still paying that bill. Hold on, give me a
Oh,
second.
well, this is the end of the podcast, so we can hold off a minute from this
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
little excursion because I'm pretty. It's got to be done. You need to tap out. You better be having draft picks at this point because if not,
I'm telling you.
because Denver's ready to tank now because they have their picks back. They paid the piper for the bad quarterback. But I feel like the Browns had to have paid that bill. Oh,
No,
please,
not
Lord.
yet. They got one more. The
Mm.
2024 first round pick. I told you, I said they still got one more on that, bro. I know what I was talking about, bro. They pay, bro. I keep telling you, his contract. We talked about it. Didn't I tell you his was worse than Russell Wilson? And you fought me on it. I told you this is the worst contract in NFL history, arguably for a dude who's gonna turn out who could have been probably the greatest. But you can't stop raping women. No offense, even if he did it or if he didn't do it, you shouldn't even been an allegation. Pat Mahomes is clean and he's a champion. So you can't tell me it can't be done. So,
Mm.
like I said, Cleveland, good night. Y'all made y'all bed, like I said. Y'all, your first round pick next year is gone, and it's going to be a magnificent pick. It's going to be a magnificent pick.
Mm,
And that's another win for the Texans.
mm. I think they actually traded that pick away too.
Who, the Texans?
Yeah, I think they gave it to Arizona
For the 24 or for next
or
year?
something like that. Yeah,
Oh, hold on. I got to see real quick. I don't know. Got to get to the
yeah.
finals.
We need to solve that one. I'm
Right.
pretty sure they gave that one up. I'm pretty sure the Texans. Oh, maybe they held on to that one and gave away their
I
first
would have
round
held,
pick.
bro. I would have held on to that
look,
one.
look, I'm keeping the Brown. You can have mine. But you can't have the Browns because we're
I
gonna.
need that Browns pick.
Yeah, because I feel like the Texans are not going to be a playoff contender, but they're not going to be 4-10 either. So you would want to hopefully have traded away. I know they traded away a first round pick, but I'm not sure if it was the Browns or their pick.
Yeah, see, no, they still got that one. They traded the number 12 pick and number 33 pick for that one.
Yeah, okay, okay, that's not too bad. Okay,
No, it's not. Considering that you're about to have like I said, probably another top 2 or 3 pick
right.
coming out
Yeah.
of
Oh yeah.
Cleveland.
That was. I thought it was a good move. I thought it was a good move for them to reach up and grab the guy they wanted on defense as well. Like you were like, hey,
Dude, because
if we're
they're
going to be
loaded,
grabbing
dude.
top 5 guys, why flip
Man,
a coin? Get them both.
get them both, right? Exactly. Tell me, which one do you want? The GM said both of them.
Oh,
BOFFUM. I need both of
put it
them.
in the bag.
Oh, and shout out to one of my favorite football movies again, Radio. She said, Radio, what kind of pie you want? Both. I need them
Both.
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 Shout
Oh,
out to
dude.
Big Cuba Gooden. I'm trying to tell you, I need them both. But that's a blockbuster trade if I don't know. Like the Texans won on so many levels with that. Not only do you have the quarterback of the future with CJ Stroud, you got weapons, you shored up your defensive line, your linebacker core. Dude, the Texans, bro, they're not gonna win the South because they're not as good as the Jags yet, but they're right there.
They're, they,
Like they are already right there.
they're doing a, it's going to be another year in rebuild, but like it's going from rebuilding with
Dude,
nothing in hopes to rebuilding in let's see
with
what this
top
talent
tier talent.
really got.
Thank
Let's see
you.
what
That's
they
what
really see what these
dude.
boys see what these
Right.
boys are doing.
Shoot
So
him more. No, for real, dude. And I'm right there with you. And then after they get this magnificent pick from Cleveland next year, dude, they're gonna get somebody that's sure. They need a tight end, so we'll see. Maybe that'd be a collegiate move. They'll get the best tight end available or something. But dude, I'm you know me. I'm high on the Texans only because, like I said, once you get the quarterback, everything else falls into place. CJ Stroud's a stud, dude. He should have been the Heisman winner. He should have won national championship. But when you got
mm,
the boy Stinson, who's 48, out here playing football because he a grown man playing with kids, but he's been looking good in training camp. He might take Matt Stafford's job. Throw him
hey,
in. He 25. Might as well let him play.
he's old enough.
No, what I'm saying, you might as well
Right.
let him play. So
Yeah.
we're gonna see, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know what you think about our picks, of course, in the records, and if you have a different idea on how those schedules gonna go, put yours in the comments. Let us know. Let us see. Let us know what you think. Shout out to everybody who was commenting today, and especially on the Pittsburgh train. Shout out to Booker's dad again, low key, one time for the one time. Dalton, man, shout out to you. Um, we here, man. The football season's pretty much among us, dude. We can feel it.
Yeah, that's why I was a little nervous. This is a little earlier than I usually like to do picks. And we started with the AFC North because I feel like a lot of these teams are very established. But
Hmm.
we're seeing some wild stuff with Hopkins, David Cook becoming available. Like,
Right.
look, you got we only got so many weeks to get these picks in, and so
When this thing
we
rolling
we, we got to get
on
them in while we can.
on our way to the repeat, because we know how this ends.
Mm. We're gonna get to that story. If,
Yeah.
look, this might be a little cliff notes at the end. If you're paying attention to the end, I've got some concerns. There's some
Oh, just a few.
concerns.
A few.
Just a
There's
few.
always a few. But then
Well,
again,
hopefully I'm
yeah.
holding off enough time so they might be able to answer some of my concerns before I
Yeah,
put this on ink. So
we'll get
pay
there.
attention next week. I think next week we might hop over to the NFC and
Oh,
see
for
where we
sure.
can make on there.
We're going over to the blue side next week, but we had to start off with the red with the blood side, bang bang. But we heading over to the other side next week. Matter of fact, I'll be opposed to say, why don't we just go ahead and do we'll call it here and right now. Let's just do the NFC South. Why
Oh
not?
yeah, easy, easy
Easy.
work,
I said, why
easy
not?
work. I like it.
NFC South. I like it too. Well, ladies
Okay.
and gentlemen, right? I like it too. He's Mr. KC from the A13. I'm that dude with the beard. And ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all for being here, liking and subscribing. Make sure you tell your friends, your family, anybody who likes sports or even just like to hear two men talk about stuff they like to do and listen to. So holler at us next time. We're gonna see you soon.